6. It is DP with Alpha Traders. Thanks so much for catching in. Had a few weekends where got a little caught up. We had a little vacation time. We had some time going on, but we're back. We're here to give you our top 5 as always. Taking a look back at the week that was. Absolutely slayed AMC. Was life-changing. Had so many winners. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know how we don't have more people, quite honestly. I mean, we got people in here buying houses, literally cash. So if you guys are interested, alphatraders.com. You want to see more? You want to submit that? Everybody wants to be happy. You can get your 3-day. Boom, literally right here. You just pop it in. That's it. Also on our Twitter at Alpha Traders Inc. You guys can sign up for our SMS. Literally, it's a text message I send to you immediately once I put the play in the room. They're all scalps, so they're all mostly same day, if not overnight holds. Max on those is 4 to 5 days max, but usually we're in and out of those within whether it's minutes or hours. But yeah, it's really what your style is. I mean, people are. I mean, our members. I mean, it's like I'm so happy for them. So many people are really like changing their lives, and it's awesome to see. So I'd love to have you guys and come check it out, and let's do this. Let us do this. So pretty much let me move dash here. Sorry about that. All right. Hey. There we go. All right. A little rusty here on the come up. So SPY closed at 422.57. We actually played this. If you look on the 65-minute, we were playing this on real quick on the 65. We actually played this from right about right here. Once this 65-minute candle, once this the high 421.64 broke, I was actually saying it in the room. I was like 421.64, 421.64. That's what we need to see first thing, because we actually had some calls from before that we cashed out in the beginning. I'm sorry, we had some puts, I believe, that we cashed out on, and it was a good cash out because I think we were there with the puts from up here, and we got the down get there, and then we popped up from there. But once this took this out, it was pretty easy. We went into the 422s. We had to wait a couple hours for it to really get going. We sold. My number was actually 422.60 is what I had. It ran to 422.65. We sold right there. It's a nice, I think it was a 50% move, which was beautiful. I'll take 50% intraday all day. It ran up on the last hour, but we weren't really worried about that. We bought, when it actually dipped though, we did buy next week's 423s and for Monday, and then the 424s for next Friday. So something to look for. If we pull back, we'll lose on them. That's fine. We'll cut them. But we'll manage the account, and we'll see how everything goes. But looking forward on the daily, I mean, it reclaimed it. This was the reason I was bullish on Friday. These two lines right here, just so you guys have a visual. And again, I'm not a chart artist. I think charts they tell you what's good in the past, and maybe you can see some patterns that might work out. It definitely has its place, but premium reading and volume and understanding those things are way more important to me in price action. But as you can see, like, there's the line right here at 422.48. We'll call it 422.41, somewhere in there, that area. It peaked its head and it really started to move. And what it did, it reclaimed this huge megaphone that goes all the way back to the March lows of 2020. This bottom one, it reclaimed this area right here. And what it did is, when it reclaimed, it started really eating through supply. There was a lot of supply up here. Now we're at all-time, we hit all-time highs and came back, but we closed right here, and that's really bullish to me. It's going to be really hard. If they're going to take this thing down, they're going to have to go back to the 8-day here at 419. That's the only reason I would say it would come back. Could be a peak above and come back, and then it hangs out for a day or two. maybe 3 days. Who knows? Maybe they want to test the 21 day at 417. Who knows? But it's going to be really hard to get under 4,200 right now the way the market is set up. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it plays out. Qs. Also a megaphone trend reclaim here. As you saw, once it got over this 332, we'll call it, what do you want to call it, 332.39, big day on Friday. It was big. I mean, they broke it down. They caught a lot of people getting short on tech out of this. This right here is a big line. If it goes under, then you're But they got a lot of people. They dipped this thing and they caught a lot of people to rocket this thing up, and it closed over the high over here of 335.75, which is local supply. So Qs are great. Well, it got over, I should say. It didn't close under. It closed under, but it closed right at, we'll call it. Qs could have a huge week if they want to run this thing. This could just be, hey, we're just going to consolidate here and we're going to bop. But a touch of 333 here, 333.32 is what I have it marked, but it'd just be 333.50, whatever. To me, is a good RR to go long. You could bounce off this, get back, and once it reclaimed, or if you're a safer trader, if it comes down and then it reclaims the high 336.06, you're looking at 339, 340, somewhere in there as the next level where you really need to get over. You could call this right here, this 336.65 a number 2. But anything above that, you can really go to 339 and then move on to all-time highs. So Q's looking good, very productive. But I think the market's going to really run on the Russell. You can see that it's building this channel here. It has this channel, and you can kind of play the channel as is, but there's a lot. The volume is really starting to pick up. As you can see, when they sold it, we got an oversold bounce here, came back down to retest. At least it had a higher low, and it really ripped up from 214 to 228 in a matter of a week, maybe a week and a half. So Russell's going to be, I think these guys, the small caps, are really going to be the push this week. So over 228.06, you're going to look at 228.86. Over that, you definitely getting back to 231. You could play the longs. I mean, I'm actually thinking about the 230s for first week of July. That's what I'm looking at. Give it a little time. It can really run 234. And if they really want to run it up in that third week of June, you really want to run it up, you could do a lot of damage here if it gets above 234.52. That's a lot of green skies. You're probably looking at 238, 239. What a great trade that'd be. $8 in the money. These are probably $3-4 the 230s. So it could be a really good trade. Individual names, FUTU. I gave you guys on Twitter. All the members know I gave it to them first, and then on Twitter we had a 200% trade literally in 15 minutes. Definitely, I saw it a mile away on the flow. Saw it on the premiums also as well. But the big number here is 163.44 for me. Even 165 if they want to, you want to call it this, because there's a lot of points in here of resistance. As you can see, there's some here, there's some here, there's a little bit here, and then of course up there they had it. But this little area right here is going to be my supply area that I'm looking at. It was a really good move on Friday. Good move overall. I think it's going to need, let's put it this way. If it is red tomorrow, I'm looking for red to green. If it's green tomorrow, I'm probably looking at it to 165. If it is gapping up for some reason, I'm not saying that it will. If it does, you're looking at probably 163, 164, and then it pulls back. At least to the highs here of 157.90. So I'm going to wait on FUTU in terms of, I'd really like to buy it on a down day rather than an up day, but sometimes you don't have that chance. We'll keep an eye on it. AMC. This was life changing for some people in our room. This right here, literally life-changing. This right here. We actually got in the week before, somewhere in here where it gapped up. I think we bought it here and it sold. Yeah, we bought it when it, at the end of the day, I think it was here. I'm not going to pull it up, but I think it was here. Got 400% the next day on that Friday. Yeah, it was this right here. Pulled back. We went in again after it cleared this high here of 36.72. We went back in, and then the rest is history. I mean, this was a just monster day, just great. But then it painted an inside day, painted a bullish inside day, painted another bullish inside day, and then it sat, you know, the daily close sitting right on cloud support. Now after hours there was some talk of you know, limiting margin, and they were pulling, you know, exchanges were doing the garbage that they pulled earlier in the year, and that took it down a little more. So to me, 48 is actually my number right now. I think 48 seems to be an order flow support as well, as you can see from that dotted line over here. 48 seems to be the number. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an order flow pivot down here at 36. That would kind of be my next. The 8 days at 40, so it might be to where it might, if it pops in the morning, it's probably coming back down. I'm gonna wait. We did buy some for next week. We bought the 55s and 60s. I think on any pop on Monday, if by chance, you know, maybe we get a gap up and it gets to, you know, we'll call it 55, I'll probably just sell what we have and call it a day and wait for it then to break this, you know, this right here, maybe in a week or so. Apps, one of my favorites. Earnings were here. They sold it on earnings, but they bought it. Very snow reminiscent. Super easy, super easy trade. 69.77. Get over 70.38. You can call it. This thing can really run. I mean, you can get about 3-4 points on it. I'll be watching apps all week. I think this is way oversold. I think they, you know, they tried to sell it, they couldn't. They popped back up. We'll see if it does it meander here, or do they want to pop it and go. So we'll watch for the volume to come in. FUBO. I mean, I was in FUBO and it didn't want to pop, but it sure looks good, doesn't it? It sure looks good. There's a lot of room here. There's a lot of room to 38. You want to call it 36, 35. I would say 35 is the number. It might take a little bit of time, but you know, to me, this looks great. I love the way FUBO looks right now. Really, just through 28.65, 28.66. I put both of them up there so you saw it. You get through this line, you're going to see a pop. You're probably going to get to about 32. Like, it's going to go. It's going to have a 10% day, maybe 12. You know, it could really go. So we'll look at FUBO again. We closed ours in some profit on Friday. We'll look and see how it reacts on Monday. If it has a down day and it holds this flag, either 26 or 26.78 or 26.36, in either one of those it holds, to me that's a buy. And I'm personally looking at probably the 29s and the 30s for probably June OPEX, which is 2 weeks away. If not, we'll move 3 weeks out. Apple, long time since we've had something like Apple on here. It's actually, this is the best day Apple's had in a long time. It really is. I mean, it was a strong day with good volume. Over 126.16 will get people involved. You get yourself up to 127, then 129. I think if it clears 126.16 and is pulling the cues up with it, I think 129 happens this week. It could actually have a play. Apple might actually play this week. Etsy, my baby. I love Etsy. We bought it here at about we actually bought it. We started at 158, and then it dropped to the VWAP. We bought it at 155, and it went lower. And then the next day we had a gap up, and it really ran for us. I think we got 15 points out of it, 17 points. We sold most of ours here at the 200 on the daily, which is about 170. Then we let the rest run till about 172, 173. It's a monster. It was a great trade. It was, holy geez, that was a great trade. And now we're waiting. We're waiting for this to go. We tried to buy some lottos on Friday, just because as it fell through, I thought it might get a bounce and we might get back to the 200-day, but it didn't want it. It fell back lower to this 162 support. So now you're on higher lows. My guess would be that it pops a little bit, gets to 200, it's starting to fill this gap here. There's a 181 gap with its name on it. So we'll see how volume comes in. Big name Airbnb. Ups and downs and ups and downs, but this it has a curling tail on it, which is very, very bullish. Some people were playing it at 130. I was kind of waiting on it. I actually played it a little too early, personally. Bought it around here. If you guys can see, I bought it around here, this 143. Bought the 155s for was it May? Yeah, it was May OPEX, and it just kept going down, and those went to zero. But this is looking good. I really like this. It's through 152.70. You get 157. That's cloud support. Actually, cloud supply here up to 165 over the next few weeks. This could really go if travel's wanting to move. You could even see 183 by August. You really could. Last one, DoorDash. Everybody seems to like this one. I kind of like it too now. You had the double top up here. It swung back down, had a curling tail. It got to a high, and then it pulled all the way back on earnings. Pulled all the way back. And now it's just kind of found a base and playing off of it. But for me, Dash really needs 155, 156, somewhere in there. I mean, you could play this as like a scalp if you did 147. It broke 147.13 and, went up. I think this is just chop here. Anything in this area between you want to play at the extremes, obviously, and it's at 143. So I would wait for 138, maybe buy the 140s at a lottery. See what you can get. See if you can get that bounce to 147, because then you'll make 60-70%. Be a nice little play. If it really wants to go, you can get 155. So those are our plays for this week. Those are our names we're looking at. Of course, things come up. I'll always be communicating with you guys on Twitter. We appreciate all the support. We want you guys to be in the community. We want you guys to be around, and we'll put out more content as always. And good luck this week.